This is another law. This is a law of reciprocation right underneath here. Watch this. When you add time in a relationship with genuine, real, heartfelt sincerity, now you have a relationship. Here's how reciprocation comes in. Relationship time with added value. When little bits of added value. Everybody say, I always add value. Say that for me. I always add value. You guys sound like you're like a little challenged by that. Let's try it again. Everybody say I. Say always. Always. Say add value. Add value. So when you have a client relationship, time, make sure it's genuine. As you add value, I'll give you a great story. I believe in stories. There's a realtor with the Ruttenberg organization. Who's heard of Charles Ruttenberg before? Okay, this is a real world guy. His name is Tom. Tom is from my hometown. And I had a situation that I was dealing with a property. And his name came about to me. I found his business card or as an ad or something. And I called him. And he talked to me on the phone. And he said, Steve, he introduced himself. He's very sincere. He let me know that not only was he a real estate broker, he is a former appraiser. Back in the different years, a few years back, he was like, oh man, I had an appraisal business. We did hundreds of appraisals per month. It was a machine. And he says, but I have my appraiser's license, so I'm a little different than the average realtor. And he said, I'm also a realtor, and then I'm also a mortgage broker as well. So he's bringing a few different licenses to the table. Got pictures so far? If you got it, say I got it. Yeah. I know it's the afternoon, so we've got to kind of come out here a little bit. All right, so we're talking on the phone. And we're talking about this property, and he says, listen, why don't I do this? He said, why don't I pop by your house when you're going to be home? I know you're on the road a lot. Pop by and we'll sit down and visit. I'll walk through the property. If you don't mind, here's what I'd like to do as a service to you. I'd like to have my camera with me, and I'd like to take some pictures, if that's okay. I'm like, well, I don't know if the house is ready. He's like, no, don't worry about it. I'll work with that. Who's been through that before as a realtor? We're not ready for the pictures. Right? After that, it's also known as an objection or concern. Right? Because people's natural resistance, watch this, some of you are going to buy in now. People's natural resistance, when an offer, which is great for you, the natural resistance is people have been told no about 10,000 times by the time they're age 3. Maybe per year. No. So it's very natural for people to resist. It's okay. It's part of the process, and we're going to get to handling objections this afternoon. But let me finish on the story about the law of reciprocation. So I said, Tom, come on over. And he goes, listen, one of the things that I do is I have this multi-tiered report that I will do, have all of your pictures in it. And he said, this won't be an appraisal. I'm not going to charge you for doing this, but I'm going to give you a real appraisal of 3 homes that have sold in your vicinity. And this is going to be something that's going to be very valuable and most people cannot do. So is he setting himself apart a little bit from most realtors, yes or no? Yeah. Is that different than the thing you print up on the computer that says comparable sales? Absolutely. So he says, I'm going to do this for you. And he says, so he does that. And we ended up not listing the particular property, doing any business on that. But stay tuned as the story continues. Some period of time, a little bit later than that, might have been a couple of weeks, might have been a couple of months, I don't remember which. I was traveling down a particular road from my home to the Tampa International Airport, and I was driving in a little 2-seater convertible. And this little 2-seater convertible, I hadn't been in a while, and apparently had some issues with the tires. How many people have ever had a flat tire before, other than me? Driving down this road, and all of a sudden, on my way to meet with a financial advisor up by the Tampa Airport, I hear that notorious sound that we do not like to get, but you know what it is. Poof! You hear it, and then you hear the rumble, 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 rumble. I'm like, oh, great! And usually it happens when you got to be somewhere, right? You have a time frame, right? So I'm on my way, and I'm like, what am I going to do? And I have AAA. Yay! Who's got AAA other than me? Anybody got AAA? What a wonderful service. But before I had an opportunity to call AAA, I had an incoming phone call. Someone that was trying to meet with me after meeting with this financial planner guy, and it was a realtor by the name of Tom. And Tom says, hey Steve, how's it going? How are you feeling when the flat tires down? You're going, what's great about this? Got to practice your walk and talk, right? I'm like, what's great about this? And I'm like, Tom, you're not going to believe this? He says, oh yeah, I will, Steve. I've been doing this for a long time. And he goes, just lay it at me. I know what. He goes, throw it at me. What happened? I'm like, I explained to him what happened. He goes, oh, okay. He goes, no problem. He goes, by the way, keep on, he's a realtor, mortgage broker, and appraiser. He's not a tire mechanic. But he says this to me, and it just kind of blew me away. He goes, where are you? I said, I'm right up here across from the Carrabba's restaurant on this particular road. He goes, Yeah, I know where you are. You're about 10 or 15 minutes from where we were going to meet, right? After your meeting, I mean, he goes, I was just checking to make sure everything was okay. He goes, just stay put. I'll be right there. I go, whoa, wait a minute. Be right there. What are you talking about? You're a realtor. He goes, no. He goes, I'll be right there. He goes, I've changed a bunch of tires. He goes, oh. And I'm like, Tom, you don't have to do that. Like, I got AAA. He goes, Steve, AAA's going to take like an hour. Or 3 or 4 to 5 hours, right? And he goes, I can probably be there in like 10 or 15 minutes. I'll be right there. How many people recognize that he's doing something that I would say 99.9% of most all realtors will never do? And by the way, I'm not saying that you should be good at changing tires if you sell real estate. How many people here understand that what I'm really talking about is not the ability for you to change tires, but for you the ability to set yourself apart by doing things that other people don't do? Is anybody getting it?
Yeah.
Good. And see, that's what, and I'm proud of you for being here today, because most people won't take the time out of a day of their life to think about the things that you do or don't do and work on yourself. This guy, Tom, an amazing networker, great rapport builder, and I had no idea that when I met him the first time, he would be offering to change my tire. And he did come there within 10 to 12 minutes. We're in on the side. I'm like, Tom, what can I hold? I mean, and he's just fixing this tire. And he's like, boom, you're on your road, man. He goes, you just give me a call later and let me know how it's going. Not being pushy, not trying to close me. Can I ask you a question? Do I really need to find another realtor to list that home? Or who thinks I would probably, with a pretty high degree of accuracy, call Tom? When it's time to sell the property and call him. It's because of that law right there. Relationship time and added value, that's who I reciprocate to. Everyone say reciprocation. By the way, if he wasn't sincere and he wasn't genuine, if I thought he was plastic about it, how many people know if I didn't think he was sincere and he didn't have the other skills to make me feel comfortable, it wouldn't matter, would it? But I know he's real. Amazing guy. Tom.